sharing your views. And please tell us about your the movement you started, Parvanchal movement.
Yeah. See, I call it slowly Purvanchal movement. We live in Purvanchal, that is Northeast India. So this part is 55% of greenness of the country is in this part, right? So already we are green, though there are lots of things going on from deforestation to many kind of things are going on now, but still 55% of the green coverage of the country is from this area called Purvanchal. So what one of my friend, her name is Priyanka Kosek. So she also is working with me in this project called Slowly Purvanchal now, where we are thinking about how slow life can be very active life, right? So
Yes.
this is this we promote because many times the people of Northeast, because they live in remote villages in the hills and near the rivers and all, so they get most of their food from nature. Even now we have villages where food can be collected from the wild and eaten, right? So there is a very lazy lifestyle, and many times people used to mock us as in Assamese it is called land of lahe lahe. Lahe lahe in Assamese is slow. So lahe lahe, you go very slow, right? But I find a very big I think that is the USP of the region, that staying slow in this fast world, right? How the people are living so slow in this fast world, thanks to so much of development not coming to these villages, where they are now still valuing the traditional knowledge wisdom, traditional food wisdom, all natural way of living. They are valuing it, and they are living very slowly. Slowly Purvanchal movement doesn't means to make people lazy. It's opposite actually. We are talking about slow and active life, but Aditya, it's more. Slow means you don't destroy the environment. You just think about yourself also, how you live together with nature and how you are happy inside. You have to think about your stress and anxiety which comes because of very fast kind of life. So for example, if I give you an example, uh, a farmer very slowly just producing crops in the field. For example, there is no tractor, there is no power tiller, there is no kind of too much of machines being used, but he is cutting his bamboos into a pipe and bringing water from a waterfalls to his farm, and then he is growing naturally some food which in the hills farmer used to do, like they throw the seeds, mix the seeds and
Yes.
throw the seeds. They mix different kinds of local seeds and they throw it. The crops
Mhm.
grow by its the crops
Yeah.
they grow by itself. So they need water. They will use bamboo to make it into pipes and bring water from there. And the product that comes is a very healthy product, right? So it's a
Yes.
slow life, but it's very active also, because cutting a bamboo, making a bamboo, bringing water to the farm is not easy. Going
Yes.
climbing up the hill and sowing the seeds, throwing the seeds everywhere, broadcasting the seeds everywhere is not an easy task. It's not a lazy task, but it's
Yes.
slow in the term that we are not altering the natural way of the things how it happens. And also we are trying to make people consume or absorb the way it has been produced, right? For example, the story. For example, if my friend who is working with me is a like say is working in a concept called slow fashion, where now, like for example, you have to think about when you wear this shirt, you have to think about how much of water has been consumed to make this a cloth, right? How much of people have been involved, how much of people have been removed from their work by bringing in big machines there, right? So fast world will bring lots of machines to do that, but slow and active is something where a traditional weaver will be weaving in a loom which is very traditional slowly. She will be taking care of her kids. She will be giving food to kids. She will go to the farm, walk. And after that, also 1 hour a day, she will weave the cloth, right? And then the product comes. So if I want to sell it to Aditya through Slowly Purvanchal, we will invite Aditya to absorb the whole story of that woman, how she does it. And then Aditya buys it because Aditya is also supporting that movement where it is slow, where we are not putting a power loom to come in, and we are removing women from working. We are making them more skilled on chemical dyes. Okay, how to color, use the chemical dyes to color your clothes, or how thousands of liters has been spent to just make one piece of cloth, right? So
Yes.
so we are working on Slowly Purvanchal, where we want to promote slow and active life. And out of that, whatever products come, the Green Commandos and many young people working with us will be working on this project all over the Northeast India and also in other parts of the country where we get
Yes.
friends to take it forward. And we will develop some product and then take it to the consumers as stories of those people, how they make it slow and active. So that is what is Slowly Purvanchal.
That is a very interesting movement, and amazing work you're doing. You're promoting the women who lose their jobs, and you're providing livelihood, and you're providing sustainability towards sustainability for those people. So that is certainly very interesting. And so please, thank you, sir, for sharing that. And please tell us, how do you like get involved with farmers, and like what is your concept of local people, local food, local economy? Please explain us.
Yeah. First thing, how I get connected to farmers is more into now. What I do is I create green commandos, and through the green commandos, we go to their communities. We work with the people. We work with the school children. So every green commando has to adopt a school to teach whatever they learn to the kids. So if we can develop a model in the kids school, so that we take it into the mothers and then to the farmers. So we move like that, and then we get into the village through the action of the green commandos. And the concept of local people, local food, and local economy is, Aditya, which I believe that God has given food to everyone where He has given him birth, right? For example, if you are born in Maharashtra, God has given you very local some food crops which grew with them. They have evolved with you. They have evolved with you together. If I am born in Assam, so I have been growing together with so many varieties of local rice, like the aromatic rice, the black rice, the red rice, the
Yes.
lemons of Assam, the mangoes of the sour mangoes of Assam, uh, the herbs, the animals. Like so, wherever God has given you birth, God has also given you food. So what we have to think about is how we grow with that food, how we eat that, how we grow them, how we also take it to the local market. So that
Yes.
is my concept of local people eating local food and growing our economy on the local things. Here, this is the one way how we can fight the filtration of all the synthetic items or the hybrids or the GMOs coming to our life as a farmer. So
Yes.
when we grow with the, for example, if somebody is born in Rajasthan, God has given them a very good tree called sangri, right? So they will eat the sangri. So
Yeah.
so that's how. So if you can imagine, okay. So Aditya, do you remember any local? You are born in Mumbai, right?
No, I was born in Delhi, and then
Okay, you are born. Yeah.
yeah,
So
but
if you
I do
if
not
you
remember Delhi. I was just born and then we shifted.
okay. So you can ask your parents also, like what is your favorite local dish that your mother's mother, or your granny or her granny used
Um,
to make. So
um, uh, I can say, it's like, I can say,
yeah,
my
what is that?
grandmother used to make very tasty aloo parathas, and I really remember them.
Mm.
So that is what I remember from my grandmother, my from Delhi.
Okay, so if you go with the ingredients of what are the things which are produced for the parota, the wheat or the potatoes, you will find that earlier there was all locally grown food, locally grown crops which become our food, right? So now what is happening is the local food wisdom has been changed, right? They are into more putting you uh, so many things will come like lettuce, celery, like dragon fruits, or many exotic things has been pumped into our food system, where we farmers are made to grow them, where the technology is not our, the climate is not ours, so we have to augment everything. That the how to grow it, buy the seeds. Every time you have to buy the seeds of those crops. So my concept of local people, local food, and local economy is like how we save our local seeds, how we conserve them, how we grow them, and how we also eat them for proper nutrition. And the surplus, we bring it together into brand like we are building now slowly Purvanchal as a brand. So how we bring it into a social enterprise together or a community enterprise together and take it to the
Yes,
local market so that people can eat it. So that is the principle of local people, local food, and local economy. Where
yes. Um,
as a farmer, I don't lose my freedom of keeping my own seeds. I am free as a farmer when I can keep my own seeds. If I leave my seed, I told you earlier also, I will be dependent on somebody. So I don't want to
yes.
lose my freedom. Yeah.
Sir, thank you, sir. That was really very interesting. Please tell us what is your plan for the next 10 years, and how do you wish to steer this green movement? What is your future plan?
Uh, Frankly speaking, I am a person or an animal who does thing with instinct. So I feel like okay, I want to do this now. I will do that. So such plan is not there with me. I never plan. But what happens, Aditya, is I want to form this green tribe of people where my green commandos. I just want to uh, uh, increase the numbers of green commandos in last the next 10 years to a quite good population, so that we can create a green tribe of people thinking about local people, local food, local economy, compassionate farming, compassionate living, and how we value the forest. When I talk about creating a food forest, I'm also talking about water uses, because my model doesn't need water. We are rain fed, and in this process we also rejuvenate so many rivers and streams. So how I make more rivers and streams grow again, how I make more food forest, create more food forest, create more human resource in the form of the green commandos, sow the seeds of whatever we do in minds of children like you, because you are the future. What you are doing, Aditya, is remarkable, right? Taking this voice or taking people's voice to different people. So we want to make more people like you who thinks about also uh, what we eat, how we live, how we conserve, and how we are safe and healthy. So that is my 10 years plan. So I need more farmers, young stylish farmers with hands where they only think about how they grow naturally. We grow a population which I call the green tribe. So I dream about building this green tribe in
Yes,
next
sir.
10 years.
Sir, that is a very interesting plan. So you were when you were talking about your plan, you were also talking about saving rivers in the so in the northeast. Please share your experiences and how do you wish to do it?
Okay. See, sticking to local food wisdom is also reducing the use of plastics.
Yes.
So when you grow at home, when you eat a traditional food item, it is not packed in plastics. But when you dependent on some kind of food product, most of our food products now comes in plastics, right? For example, now though I find a big biscuit packet, and again inside you will get again small packets of polythenes coming up, like plastics coming up. So it's very very difficult. Why? And biodegradable things has to be developed, right? Biodegradable things has to be developed. Otherwise, what happened is, this is my experience. I think 5th of June, 2 years back, when I went to this beautiful eco camp in Assam, where this very high current river comes, which is called Jia Bhorolu River. So they invited me for a environment day program, but I went one day ahead, and I planned to raft. The rafting is done in the river, so I planned to raft. I had a few green commandos with me also. We go together to plant trees on environment days, and even in different functions. So 6 or 7 green commandos, we together we rafted this river with very high current. But to our surprise, we can find so much of plastics in the stones, right? It was the stones, and we can find all plastics lying in the river. The plastic bottles, the 7-Ups, the Coca-Colas,
Yeah.
uh, everything, right? They coming. So next day, we decided that we, on the environment day, 5th June was the environment day. So we decided that, okay, we are going for planting, but before that, in the morning, we are going to clean the river. So we took the rafts and we started cleaning the river. To our surprise, we got 3 truckloads of plastic in only 25 kilometers of the river. We were like 4 rafts with around 12 or 16 people, but we collected 3 truckloads of plastics. And the most bad plastics were sanitary napkins and the Huggies, then again food items, the 7-Ups, the Coca-Colas, um, bottles, plastic bags, all like we collected, and it was around 3 truckloads in only 25 kilometers stretch of the river. So
Yes.
what we do now with the Green Commandos, we try to clean it, and also on the river side, we started developing some food forests, because when we develop the food forest, a microclimate is created inside the forest where the groundwater is recycled. Groundwater is recycled. As we are in the hills, we can see lots of streams coming up, rejuvenating. So we plant lots of trees also on the bank of the rivers. Uh, we plant trees on the bank of the rivers. We create food forests. We clean the rivers. We clean the plastics out of the rivers, and that's how we take care of the rivers and the streams here, Aditya.
That was a very interesting story, sir. We should always plastics. We should always send for recycling, and we should use minimum plastics, and because it interferes in the nature. And sir, please tell us, do you get government support or aid in your programs, or are you doing it independently?
See, most of the works which we do is a self-sustaining model of work. So where we do it independently, we grow food, we sell food, we live with that. And again, when we do this Green Commandos training program and all, so there is a fees attached to the those who are interested. They come and they pay us a fees, which is only
Yes.
4,000 rupees for 3 days, inclusive of their food and stay. So we are all self-sustaining, and few government organizations also, like not government actually is supporting us, but some government institutes like the universities. Like for example, we are working with Assam Agricultural University in certain projects like how to make vermicompost in the villages, or some kind of natural farming practices to be promoted. So we are also working with some government organizations like the NABARD. which is a financial institute, and we are working on a project called validating the zero budget natural farming practice in this state of Assam. And yeah, there are few projects which there is a like when you talk about working with the government. So what we do is we create a model first. Okay, ours is this kind of model. If you want to take, we can advocate, because a bigger change can be made by the government machinery. So we have to advocate it to the government policies. So we give them the model. If they want it, we do it. But we don't bring projects from government, because that is, again, if the project comes, it doesn't uh, make sense, because our principle is totally dependent on how we grow with the need of the people locally, right? So we don't have to, again, induce something on them. So many organizations which are like-minded and which wants to take our model of farming and our model of doing the things, then we just work with them. We have many partners, many partners from all over the globe, who comes and works with us. So like, for example, now we are developing agro tourism with the food forest. We are developing agro tourism models in the villages, where we have partners from Germany, even from India. We are coming together, like-minded people. We go together. We are open to
Yes,
some
yes.
crowdfundings, where people, or like-minded people, come together, and they help us to achieve the work. So it's more self-sustaining and less dependence on government, because we are creating a model which can be advocated to the government. If the government is wanting them, we give them.
Okay. Sir, that was very interesting. So you're also venturing into many new areas, and so please tell me, how please tell us about a few books that have made the maximum impact in your life, and why.
Okay. Uh, there are a few books which made. I told you about that book called Tribe. Uh, then, and I have read this. Sapiens has made a very good mark on my head, right? So then there's another book called The Old Farmer's Almanac. It's very difficult to find now, even if you. So it's called Old Farmer's Almanac. So there you can find how natural ways, like how weather forecasting farmer used to do. Like, for example, if a frog is making sound, the farmers would say, okay, okay, now the rains will come. If the coconut leaf is drooping down, the farmers would say that the rain is going to come. So there are so many. So that book has got those kind of records in there. So that is another book. Yeah, Natural Farming of Fukuoka, Musanobu Fukuoka. So his natural farming book also gave me lots of. There are lots. I read a lots of books. So if I go on taking names, so it will be a long list. But I think this four which I named is something which made some impact on my brain.
Yes. Sir, what is your concept of food forest? um please, please tell me, don't you think that creating a forest will cause like forest only, a food forest will cause imbalance, and consumption would again hamper nature?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
invite your
So see,
views.
yeah, see, Aditya, this is a very interesting question. And when I talk my model of food forest, I told you that's a compassionate model. It's not only growing food crops into a forest; it's incorporating food into the forest. Right? Lots of food forests. When you Google, you will find that people are growing a forest of food. Like all the crops are coming together, it made into a food. Like the whole jungle is made into food forest. Like all food crops are grown there. But my model is not that. My model is food crops growing together with the wild plants. Right. So how we used to go in the earlier times, our ancestors go to the forest and they used to collect food from there. Like we were food gatherers. Right. So now we don't get the food crops growing inside. So what I'm doing is I'm incorporating the food crops inside the forest. So the imbalance is not there. Balance is coming because I told you, no, when I started growing yams inside, the porcupines came, then the boars came, then the leopards came. The whole balance is maintained now in my model. The water cycling is done. Water, we don't need water there, right? So the evaporation is checked. So different layers of forest is there. Bamboos are there. Tall wild trees are there. Inside, I have king chilies also. Inside, I have amlas also on the middle layer. Inside, I have some banana plants. I have yams in the base. So it's you have to understand this. When I call my model of food forest, it is totally not making a forest of food crops only. It is
Yes.
incorporating food inside the forest, and this is not going to again deeper forest also where the like the sanctuaries. I'm not going inside the Kaziranga National Park. I am doing it with the forest which has been left out. Small forest has been left out. I told you now because of the armed forces and all. My part which I am doing was cut off from the jungle, and then the animals were they ran away because there were more human things coming up.
Yes.
So now again, rejuvenating it into a forest, but also looking at how we can also grow food inside the forest. How can that's a coexistence model. This is a
Yes.
coexistence model where everything from the birds to the animals to everyone live together. Crops, it's not only the food crops; it is all crops growing together, right? So,
Yes.
so I don't think rather than imbalance, it is creating more balance to the nature.
Yes, sir. What do you think is the future of the farming industry?
Future of the farming industry. I think food has become most important now, and another thing is like wellness food has become more important now because immunity is something which is everybody is thinking about how you become immune, right? How you remain strong. Wellness food industry is more than $400 billion, I believe, now in the whole world post COVID. So it's growing more. So when you talk about the wellness food industry, so we talk about our local crops, which are more immunity building, like our methi, like our bathua, like our all the corianders, Thai corianders, herbs, polygonum, roselle, all kind of local crops which are more even bamboo. I'm making a bamboo leaf tea also, which is very good to keep your immune system strong, right? So those crops, if we get into and then we give more priority, then the farming industry will be very good. Otherwise, future of the farming industry, if it goes like this, how now it's becoming, where farmers don't have a say, farmers don't want to do farming, farmer child don't want to do farming. It will be totally industrialized, or all what will come to us is synthetic and hybrids and GMOs, right?
Yes.
So the other way of the farming industry is the movement which we are leading now: local people, local food, and local economy. So if it
Yes.
is done, then it will be a industry producing healthy, healing food. Or otherwise, if it is going to the other way of too much of mechanization, too much of control by the corporates or corporatization of the food, then it will be more producing food which is not healthy for the human beings.
Okay, sir. And what do you think technology will impact on the like farming? Is there a chance that technology can impact farming?
Yeah, I'm not a technology sci guy when I talk about all those things, right? But technology in the appropriate place, right? Where we
Yes.
need that, right? For example, if I am making a herbal tea out of a food forest product, I need a dryer, a solar dryer, technologies which are more dependent on the renewable energies, like the
Yes.
solar dryers. I need solar dryers. I need processing, like post harvest management technologies are more important for me as a farmer than a technology of tilling the soil, killing the microbes every time, or cutting the forest, or those kind of technologies I'm not into, right? But in many places, technology in terms of water saving, how we save water, might be the irrigation systems, from
Yes.
micro irrigation systems and all. So those technologies are important areas specifically, and the application of the technologies might be area specific and might be also like which part of the farming system you want to put it, right?
Yes.
It's not mechanizing the whole farming system, but where you need it. So I think then
Yes.
transportation, packaging, marketing, processing, those kind of technologies are very important. Aditya, where we have to think about how we develop on that. Biodegradable packaging, how
Yes.
you develop biodegradable packaging materials. So those kind of technologies will be more important.
Yes. Sir, please tell us how can youth, people like children like me, contribute to nature and help and grow nature. Please, sir.
Okay. See, there are lots of ways. Your thought only. You are doing a big job by today doing this interview and doing interview with so many people, right? So mouth to mouth, social use of social media to spread this whole ideas of how we live better in this planet, and most importantly, every day. Today also we lost a very eminent personality of Assam, a very good scholar of Assam. But every day losing people is a very terrifying. So I just started a mission where I asked people to just plant a tree for life, and for the fight back the humanity has to give. See, we made cemented walls, and now we are crying for oxygen, right? So we cut trees to make our buildings, and now today we are crying for oxygen. Okay,
Yeah.
so plant trees wherever you can. Might be a small plant in your balcony, or in your rooftop. Might be if you don't have land, make a friend with the farmer. Go to the village, explore, make a farmer friend, plant trees with them. Go to their land, plant trees with them. Put your hands on soil, because the computer, we both are talking to each other. It also needs earthing, right? Without earthing, it will also there will be short circuit in that. So our brain also needs earthing. So put your hands on mud. Make seed bombs. Just make mud balls, compost balls, small balls with mud, like we play mud. It will give you lots of positive energy because you are touching soil. Then put a local seed, collect a local seed from a farmer, put a local seed inside the ball and throw it to the jungle. It will grow into a plant, food plant inside the jungle, right? Make seed bombs, save water. Always try to conserve water whenever you walk. And
Yes.
I think this discussion also, I'll be happy, Aditya, to see you also planting a tree and sending me the picture. And please follow me on Facebook, and you can tag me, because today also I gave a message on my Facebook that to fight back, let's plant a tree everywhere, wherever possible, and tag me
Yes.
with the picture of
Yes.
that.
Yes, 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 sir. Farming, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, I will try my very best to contribute to the nature. I don't know about my viewers, but I hope some of them will also try to contribute to nature and help. So actually, my mother, and in our family, it goes down. We like to plant 5 trees every year, 5 or 6 trees. So we will try to do what we can do. But uh, sir, I have you have my utmost respect because the work you're doing is very good. And sir, thank you. So sir,
Thank you.
please tell us about your role models from whom you have been inspired the most and why.
Yeah. Uh, I have been inspired by lots of unsung traditional farmers in the villages. So there are so many traditional farmers. When I started moving into the villages, working with the farmers, so I remember many farmers will come to my head now, from whom I have actually learned how this whole traditional wisdom of farming can be carried forward, and which is very nature friendly. I can remember some farmers' name, like this very small and very energetic farmer in Nagaland. His name is Idalia. I can remember this guy in Assam, Mohan Bora, who used to work with me, a farmer. But how he is saving more than 300 varieties of local rice seeds by conserving them. I have been motivated by some very elderly person in the village I met, like Doyananda Borua, who is helping youths to stay in the village and not migrate out of the rural whole structure. How you don't migrate out of the villages and stay in the villages, and how your land can be more valuable, and how land can give you more, give you your livelihood and also respect in the life, right? So those kind
Yes.
of people, Vandana Siva, right? Vandana Siva, I used to listen her along. I met her quite times. And Peggy Cuswell, my guru, she is in Canada. She used to come to Assam and who put the seeds of all organic farming and all natural farming system on my head. So these are the people, my guru, Dr. Kamal Malla Bujar Borua, the former Vice Chancellor of Assam Agricultural University, who gave me the whole support to go ahead. So these are the people whom I got motivated, Aditya.
Thank you, sir. So please, can you advise or give me two people whom you would like to see on this show, and why?
I would love I would love to see you interviewing Vandana Siva, right? If you know her, and also Peggy Kurswell, how this lady comes to India and promotes nature friendly farming in very remote areas. She comes every
Yes.
year from Canada, and she promotes this organic farming here. So I just want to see these two ladies talking to you.
Yes. Thank you, sir. You can share their contacts on my personal message, maybe, if you can do
Yeah,
that.
I'll say it.
Yeah. Lastly, sir, I hope you enjoyed this show, and because I did, I learned a lot today, sir. And it's been over 1 hour we have been talking, and I did not know how time flied. It was so interesting, sir. um
Yeah.
so please advise what thing you liked about Aditya talks, and any suggestions for me that should be incorporated to improve the experience of my viewers.
Okay. Uh, First of all, Aditya, I see so much of energy in you. So I got more confidence that, okay, the young people of the country are going to lead the world into a very beautiful way, right? So you have got so much of positive energies and you're doing such a beautiful thing in such an age, right? And this is something which you do, and I love the way you articulated. Like whenever I was just noticing, I used to give you a long description of what I do, and you, after every question, you were summarizing it into a very beautiful. I thought, how, why? I didn't think that a class 9 student will get into a very deep thought which I was putting into, like when I talk about food, farming, and everything. But the way you were summarizing is very beautiful. uh, you go ahead in life, and this is something which I will be promoting you in all the areas where I can, and your channel. And thank you very much, and you have got a very bright future. Only the background you are putting of the green thing now today, make the world green. Let's also try to make, we have concreted our world, but with your friends, and I will be volunteering with you also to teach them online also how to make their balconies and
Yes.
rooftops green. So let's do it.
Yes, sir. We will have many more sessions, because, sir, your experience is so great, sir. It cannot be summarized into one hour video. So we can do many more sessions like these to spread awareness of nature, and I'm looking forward to that, sir. Well, for today, sir, thank you, and I hope my
Thank
viewers
you,
you
Aditya.
understood. Yeah, I hope my viewers, if you understood a lot, and if you like this episode, please leave a like down, and please check out Mr. Samir's Facebook page and his official website, which I will be sharing in the description below. Thank you, sir, for coming on the show.
Thank you, Aditya. Thank you very much. It was a very, very wonderful time I spent with you. Thank you.
Um, well, thank you.